know what kind of research went into this know what you're talking about. Do people still use Skype? I want to know if I'm gonna cry. Pain. I feel pain.
You alright?
Yeah. Hello, my wonderful friends. Long time no see. I have a fun surprise for you today. You guys have seen the title, you know. Kind of. I am part of a wonderful collab that was put together by Nell from Nell Diamond, and a bunch of my friends and I, we are doing the 5-star exchange. I will link down below different information and videos for you to watch if you want more information about the 5-star exchange. However, our version is a little bit different because normally the people who do it don't know the other people who are involved. However, in this round, we do know. We knew everybody that was chosen in the group. It does not mean that we know who recommended the books though. I will be reading Brightside by Kim Holden. It is a book that has been on my radar. It has been recommended to me before. I just haven't picked it up. I heard that it's going to emotionally devastate me, which honestly intrigues me. I'm very, very curious about that. And I am going to state right now who I think recommended this book to me. And I think it is Vanessa. Read with Dr. B. I feel it in my soul. I think it's her. If I'm wrong, this is very embarrassing, but I'm throwing it out there. I think it's Vanessa. So we will see, we will check in and see what the final clip says. But that's what I'm going with here. Let's get to reading. It's check-in time. I am a couple chapters into Brightside, and I have a lot of thoughts to share. I did take a bunch of notes because if I don't take notes, I forget. Memory of a goldfish, we know this. I didn't know anything really going into this book, to be honest. I had heard of it before. It was recommended to me before. It also has been described as a book that's going to emotionally devastate me, which honestly I'm very, very intrigued by. Very rarely do I feel like emotionally devastated, if that makes sense. Like, I get sad, I have feelings, but like, has a book ever left me devastated? I don't know. Like, I'm sure there are, but like, I don't remember them. But let's go over some of the questions I had, or just notes. One, I had no idea that this book takes place in Minnesota, but we need to talk about that. Because as somebody who is from Minnesota, and who actually has a lot of experience in the towns that are mentioned in this book, I don't think this author has ever been to Minnesota. I don't know what kind of research went into this, but like, she makes a comment about whether or not Minnesota even has vegan or vegetarian restaurants. We absolutely do. We have an amazing selection. You actually could be overwhelmed by how many places to go. So was such a statement. She also mentioned about how there was absolutely minimal traffic compared to what she was used to in other states, which, I mean, fair. Yes, we don't necessarily have as many lanes as like California, but like where she's traveling to, we absolutely have traffic. I interact in this town pretty often, to be honest, and so it irks me so much because it's inaccurate. It's inaccurate, and I don't know where the author got their information. I don't know when this book was written, but it's not truthful in that regard. And I get that it's fiction. I get that it's fiction, but if you're going to speak about a location that exists, know what you're talking about. So far that's given me the ick. But we're going to move past it. We're going to see just how many ways the Minnesota references can piss me off. But I found out that Brightside is a nickname. I did not see that coming. I really actually am intrigued by that. I love that. The lady who's like her aunt or whatever, hate her. Hate her. She's awful. I don't know where that relationship's going to go, but I hope that like Kate, I believe is the main character's name, I hope she gets out of this situation sooner than later, because Maddie, who is like her aunt or her friend, is bad news bear. She's not it. She's not good. We don't stand. So I believe the two main characters are Kate and Gus. I think Gus is the love interest. I genuinely do not know. I have no idea what to expect. I'm going into this book completely blind. They're best friends. They've been best friends for a very long time. They get really drunk one night and ... And then she moves, right? She moves to Minnesota for college, I believe. And now they're having like phone conversations, and that's how they're staying like in touch. But like, things are really weird because they didn't have a long time. Like, they didn't have a lot of time to process what happened before she left. And Gus is like this non-committal guy, but like, he doesn't want to lose her. It's very weird. The dynamic is weird so far. We'll see where it goes. You know, like, we're just early days, or I'm only a couple chapters in. But I love it because she was talking about Skype, And honestly, do people still use Skype? Like if you are somebody who uses Skype, please let me know, because like, doesn't everybody Zoom or like Google Meet? Is like, I get that Skype is still like around, but like, weird, wild. So those are my thoughts so far. Again, I recognize that I was a little harsh. My bad. My bad. But honestly, like, very valid criticisms in my opinion. So I still have very much an open mind, and I'm very curious to see how this goes, especially because I bought the audiobook, you guys. I bought it because Teddy Hamilton is the narrator for the male character, whoever that is. I believe it is Gus. We will find out. And you guys know I love Teddy Hamilton. So I feel like that'll be the saving grace of this book, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I still have high hopes. I still feel like this could be a contender, right? It's okay to have criticisms, right? Things, areas of growth, but I see potential. I see it. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. All right. Hi guys, it is Wednesday night. We're not gonna talk about this. We're gonna move past it. I want to check in with you guys. I am about 59% into Brightside, and what can I tell you? So I'm on chapter 50, I think. Yeah, chapter 50. What can I say? We're getting into like the spoiler section. I'm not gonna talk anything about spoilers right now. I'm gonna wait and save that for the end if I decide to have a spoiler discussion. What I can tell you is I'm pretty sure I know what people are going to be upset about. I have a pretty good guess about where this book is going to end. A lot of secrets have been revealed in the last couple of chapters in terms of like where I think the plot is gonna go. However, again, this book is not necessarily a plot-driven book. This is a character-driven book for sure. So if you're not invested with these characters, you will not have a good time. For the most part, the characters are fine. It's just you're genuinely just going through these months with them. Like, you're getting journal entries and going through the day-to-day stuff. So if you need action, if you need fast pacing, if you need those things, I worry you will be bored. I wouldn't say I'm completely bored, but I wouldn't say like I'm thrilled. I'm reading this because 1, it's part of this collab. 2, curiosity. And 3, I want to know if I'm gonna cry, right? But otherwise, this book has been overall okay, right? Nothing super impressive at this point, but also not like the worst. So I don't know if I can complain about that. What I will say, thankfully, we have more chapters with Teddy Hamilton. Again, not a bunch, probably maybe 5. But the way I was so excited, especially when we had one like back to back, I was so happy. I was so pleased. You know what's crazy is, so the main character's name is Kate, and Keller, who is the man, Teddy Hamilton, he calls her Katie, and I'm immediately like, oh God, this is so weird for me, but it's also so exciting to have Teddy Hamilton say my name over and over again. Thank God I bought this audiobook. That's not weird, right? Right? You know what? Even if it is, oh well. Oh well. It's been really something for me. Can't complain there. So I will finish this book tomorrow. I'm currently listening at 2.75 speed. So I will finish. It says I have an hour and 44 minutes left. So I will be able to get 45 minutes done on my drive to work, and then hopefully sporadic in the day, and then wrap up, and boom. I'm gonna get this done before I go off to Michigan. Is it gonna be 5 stars? I feel like there is no way. The ending's gonna have to be incredible for this to somehow be a 5-star book. I'm not saying people haven't rated it 5-star. I think it's rated very highly on Goodreads. Should I look? It's rated a 4.3 on Goodreads, which honestly is pretty good. A lot of my friends have rated it 5 stars. One of my friends DNF'd it. I got farther than them. I feel really good about that. But yeah, a lot of my friends gave it 5 stars, 5 or 4. I'm just not feeling the 5-star vibes. Again, I will see what can happen in the next, you know, like 40% of this book. I will keep an open mind. I will do whatever is necessary, right, to keep the good vibes vibing. But so far, it seems very unlikely, and I am so sorry. But anyways, my towel is falling off, so I'm gonna go fix that. I'm gonna go to bed, and I will finish this book tomorrow. All right, bye. pain. I feel pain. You know?
You alright?
Yeah. Hi friends. I'm coming to you with closing thoughts on Brightside. What is it with books that have these really happy, you know, inspiring titles that actually are hiding pain? There's actually, it's an enigma. It is actually a plot twist. It is to trick you, because don't be fooled by this brightly covered, interestingly titled book. It will make you cry. And what I will say is, if you have experienced loss in any capacity, I feel like this book will hurt you. You probably should check trigger warnings. I did not. As you can tell, it definitely got a reaction from me. What I will say is that my husband and I actually had something very similar that happened in this book happen to us in real life, actually almost about a year ago now. And so it kind of felt like reliving that, if that makes sense. So that was a lot. It was a lot. But let's get into it. Let's get into this book. Let's take away the seriousness and let's just chat. So, is this book 5 stars? It is not 5 stars for me. Not because it's not good. However, I feel like the issue is that the actual meat and potatoes of this story, the where the plot begins, is about 60% into this book. For 60%, you don't truly know, you don't understand everything that is happening in this story. That is a long time to be in the dark. And so I felt like it was rather boring and slow paced, which is not really for me. The other issue is that I feel like this book is kind of marketed as a romance, and I would argue no. Not really. Not really. This is really a self-discovery, like literary fiction type book. There are romance aspects, but really you're following Katie in her day-to-day life, and that's kind of what the whole story is about. There is romance aspects, but like the whole romance is really genuinely just a subplot. Like the male point of view is so infrequent, if that makes sense. Like you barely get to be in his head. It adds to the story, absolutely. It adds to everything, but it's just not enough for me to call it necessarily a romance. So again, if you're really into, you know, romance as a subplot, then I think you would enjoy this. And also if you enjoy books that focus very much on characters and not necessarily on like the destination of where we're going, this would be great for you. But that's not what I thought I was getting into. And so for me, it was middle of the road. I would say it's a 3.5. It was very close to being a 4. The ending for me is what absolutely bumps it up, because like it did create an emotional reaction. It did make me feel deeply, very deeply. Other than those minor things, I really do think that Brightside is worth your time. I would definitely love to know if you have the same emotional reaction that I do. I hope you enjoy me crying on camera for you guys. That was a first. It's very vulnerable for me to post this, to share this, because I don't cry very much in front of people, so this is very new for me. So I'm gonna say that Brightside is a 3.5 star for me. It is very middle of the road, almost a 4 star. I definitely think if you're interested in it, you should pick it up and give it a try. But if you have other books that might potentially make me cry, I would love to know, what's a book that made you cry? A book that maybe you're nervous to read because you've heard it'll make you cry? Let me know your best tearjerker books in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you stick around for the reveal clip, and then make sure you go and watch all the other videos that are linked in the description below so you can see all the reveals and you can know all of our secrets. Also, I know I will be watching because I actually don't know what anyone else is reading in this collab. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello, it's me, Nell. I hope that you have enjoyed this vlog.
Just kidding. It's not Nell. It's really Vanessa. The books that I chose for Nell, I chose them because I think that Nell and I actually have some very similar reading tastes, or at least I think we do. Like when I hear Nell talk about the books that she likes, they generally are ones that I like too. And we have very eclectic reading tastes. Like I don't think we gravitate towards one genre in particular over another. Like we probably do have a little bit of a preference for certain genres or certain types of books, but I think we pretty much read across genres. Like we'll read romance, we'll read mysteries and thrillers and horror and fantasy, so I think it's a good mix. A lot of the books that I put on Nell's list were books that I already had rated pretty highly, or that I think I would rate pretty highly. So with that being said, obviously I am Vanessa. While I do read across genres, I would say primarily gravitate towards romance, and I do happen to like more of the darker, spicier variety of romance. But like I said, I will read pretty much anything. I will read a good thriller, mystery, horror, nonfiction, general fiction, historical, like I will read anything. If it's good, I will read it. And I just want to say thank you to Nell for putting this all together. I think it was a really good, fun experiment to get us to read like new books and to see if we could find any of our own 5 stars based on somebody else's recommendations. So I think this is a very fun idea, and thanks for including me.